Hello, hello, my beloveds. This is Dr. Angelika Christie, your host of the show, Your Radiant Life After 45. It's a show for women who want more from life, more love, more abundance, better health, and just change everything around them so that they become a beacon of light for others to follow. So today, of course, is Valentine's weekend, right? So in many parts of the world, the actual day is actually not until February the 14th. But you know that this weekend will be filled with red roses, chocolates, feasting on gourmet food, and maybe even alcohol, champagne, whatever, and hoping on top of all of that to have your wishes fulfilled by your lover. Maybe he expects some special treatment from you too. Could that be? Anyway, this special love date, Valentine's Day, can be filled with good, but also with unwanted events or even omissions of showing love. So you could be deeply disappointed or pleasantly surprised. Anyway, I'm not going into one of my teachings here that shows that love is always available because you generate it all by yourself, no matter what circumstance. No, today I want to talk a bit more specifically about self-love and your inner hero. Your inner hero, yes, who I believe is a representation of your soul that facilitates heroic self-love. Heroic self-love is not selfish, but it is self-affirming, self-healing, self-loving. Now, let me ask you this question. Have you ever been told to love yourself first? To love yourself more than anybody else? I have not, but then I'm an older generation. And maybe most of you have neither been told that truth, actually, that you must love yourself first, because from that abundance, you can love others. But since this is still not really practiced, therefore, this is what the world looks like, especially when it comes to women. Women continue to go through life being unhappy, even being abused. They have no voice and therefore suffer with low self-esteem, making them emotionally unavailable even to somebody who is there to love them. But sometimes they are so wounded. As a matter of fact, the world is in so much fear that depression and suicide rose over 50% in just the last decade. It's awful, unimaginable, and it's not getting better. Anxiety and overwhelm prevent so many amazing women from knowing themselves. They are unsure of where they want to be and what they want to have in their lives. They don't know their true identity, so they don't know their destiny, their beautiful destiny that their soul has prepared them for before they came into this lifetime. Then there is also the fear of aging and the anxiety about becoming irrelevant. It's a real issue in our Western culture. Few talk about the consequences of this alone. It brings such unnecessary suffering to women. And in addition to that, too many women have financial anxieties. They struggle in their relationships, and too many are paralyzed in sadness or resignation. They wonder why their relationships are not working. Their relationships even with their children, and of course also with their partner. They wonder why their leadership lacks the power to attract their ideal clients, as they do not have the following experience they desire. They do not know how to stand out, how to stand above, because that means you have to love yourself first. They stay invisible even though they give so much of themselves, yet without receiving what they deserve in return. So this is what the world still looks like for women. And do you agree that there is a big problem that we need to solve? Yes or yes? It cannot be solved by trying harder or getting more information and taking more courses, trying out more unproven things. It cannot be solved like this at all. Why? Because the problem is not outside. It's not even outside of you. So stop looking for a solution there, because doing so will exhaust you and it will disappoint you. It will take you on a roller coaster of doubts, anxieties, and fears. And maybe those anxieties and fears may be interrupted with short periods of hopes and thrills. At least for a little while, you feel happy. Yet, too often this happiness is fleeting. And you ask yourself, why didn't it last? Why didn't it last? I know it is frustrating to make such an effort and be disappointed over and over repeatedly. I am just like you. I have been there, probably under different circumstances than what yours are. But that's why I invite you into a bigger and brighter future, so that you will stand in your brilliance and be healthy, sexy, and magnetic and free. I want you to live your highest potential, live your purpose, and create abundance and freedom to enjoy your life to the fullest. Because this way, and doing that, will create your legacy, and you will leave that legacy being an example for everybody around you, in your family, maybe for your mother if she's still alive, your sisters, your aunts, your nieces, your children, your daughters. Do you realize that you, all of you, you and you and you, whoever listens to me now and sees me, you are the pillars of a new consciousness that will transform the world. It must. Therefore, your brilliance and your leadership are desperately needed. I want to make a statement here. If you would embrace yourself, love yourself without conditions, your life would start to blossom instantly. Why? Because as soon as you love yourself unconditionally, you start to love your life, and it will show, it shows up, because then you start to exude magnetism. You know, those people that we admire because they have this radiance, they have this magnetism. They love their life, they practice that. So when you do that, you feel young, desirable, and unlimited. And your healing generates that joy, and it attracts the circumstances and relationships that take you to your desired outcomes. Because unless you are in resonance with that, what you desire, which is positivity, you first have to radiate that positivity. Does that make sense? I believe so. Yet sadly, most women have never been given permission to love themselves first. Most don't even know what it means to love yourself first, or even where to start, or how to get to that point. What is the blueprint? What do you have to do? I created a system that makes the vague concept that you should love yourself more real and tangible. I call it the heroic self-love formula, where your inner hero battles for you at your core, so that you achieve what you want or need or must have at the moment. I can sense that you may have some doubts and maybe also a few questions about how to achieve this, yes? Do you even think that this sounds like a pipe dream? But can you imagine it? And maybe still feel doubtful that this can be you, that this can be actually happen for you? Would you like me to share how you can achieve it starting today? Of course, this is a big program, but I can talk a little bit about it. First, let me assure you that you have nothing to achieve. That's a big, yeah, almost an epiphany, right? What do you mean, Angelika, nothing to achieve? No, nothing to achieve, because you have everything. But you have to discover it. Discover what? That your opinion about yourself is not who you are at all. That's where we start. That you are the reason why this is not true, because you are your worst critic, judging yourself from false or limiting beliefs. Beliefs you have adopted from somewhere and someone for much too long. Your brain has accepted your limiting beliefs because subconsciously they have been reinforced over and over repeatedly. So your brain has accepted your limiting beliefs and creates the thoughts that are in alignment with it. And so they will continue to support those illusions and those false beliefs. And you don't, if you would see it, if you could have a vision of your brain doing that, you would say, no, stop, that's not me. So don't you think it's time to examine who told you so and question their authority? Who told you you're not good enough? Or that you are too old now, or that it is too late for you, or you don't have what it takes, or that you're not attractive enough. And it goes on and on and on. You fill in the blanks. So I want you to ask yourself the following questions. Who told me so? By whose authority? And why do I believe this? By whose authority do I believe that? And is it really, really true? No, it's not. I have coached many women toward their desired outcomes, and it always involves 3 critical points to get what you want and to become clear about what you want. In those 3 critical steps, there are actually 3 of a series of 7 steps, a 7-step blueprint that works like magic. And yet the heroic self-love formula that all of my programs are powered by is critical for lasting success. So actually those 3 critical steps are, first is awareness. You have to have clarity through awareness, but the end result is to have clarity, okay? The second is courage. It takes courage, yes, because we are so messed up with our old programming. And the third is it takes commitment, 100% commitment to yourself, to your goal, to growing into your unlimited self. It took many decades of searching within my life to find the answers that I have been sharing actually in my program since 2010. But when I had this epiphany and met my inner hero, which I believe, I know for me, it's a representation of my soul self through God's loving grace. And I'm not telling you this story here, but one that stifled me for most of my life was that, well, when I discovered my inner hero, this was later. What happened before is that story that if you have followed me, you may know my earliest, most devastating story. When Mother Superior cursed my life because I disobeyed her, I disobeyed her rule to never look at a boy, ever. And I jumped into a bumper car for a 1-minute ride. And that incident was reported when I returned to my boarding school. And I was summoned to the office of Mother Superior. I only know her by that name. I don't think she had any other name. She was only called Mother Superior. And I was only 12 years old. And the verdict I received from the highest authority at that time in the school was that I had thrown my life away and would never, ever, ever have an honorable life. And I only left the boarding school at age 15 with a broken spirit. I didn't recover from that for a very, very long time. Between 18 and my age of 21, I started to rebel against dogmatic authorities like organized religion and strict ideas about class systems and behaviors that made no sense to me. I know that many of my bold choices were driven by a solid desire for freedom. We all want freedom. I actually married 3 times. I was the one who always left. Why? Of course, I found reasons to leave, but the most powerful reason was always feeling controlled, restricted, suffocating, and powerless. I believe I also carried subconscious fear of not deserving to be good enough. Probably that unconscious, subconscious, deeply subconscious memory from my childhood in boarding school. But Mother Superior put on me that curse. So I rebelled. And when these memories came up, that from my partner, I felt that I was in danger, so to speak, I left first so nobody would leave me. But through long and deep soul searching during the last, especially 2 decades, I finally understood what held me in bondage. And that's when I also discovered my inner hero. Heroic self-love broke that bondage forever. And I know there are so many women out there who are in some kind of bondage. And let me tell you, heroic self-love will break your bondage too. Well, I wish I had known about the power of my heroic self-love decades ago. It would have spared me so much inner turmoil and pain. That pain once drove me to want to end my life. I can hardly believe it today. And I was saved by a friend's unexpected visit. But fact is that we all carry wounding from our past. The wounds can only be healed by loving them free, loving free the people and situations that we allow to impact us in a negative way, and their influence in what we believe about ourselves, that we believe to be true about ourselves. So what are your subconscious, which are really your unconscious dialogues? Do you sometimes take a step back and just become an observer of yourself? Because that's really very, very helpful. What are your thoughts? Because your thoughts create your emotions. What are your emotions? Your beliefs. And they dictate your behavior. Because when you decide to become aware, you will notice that your internal dialogues are really old recordings playing over and over in your head. You may not notice anymore because you have allowed them to play in your head for so long, and they feel so familiar. And yet, it is a devastating loop of recurring thoughts that create your reality. Even if it is not real, you perceive it as real and you act accordingly. Take a deep breath. Your life is precious. You have so much to offer. You gained a wealth of experience and wisdom, even without any particular degree or certificate that may be hanging on your wall. You earned your PhD in life experience. Therefore, you are the greatest gift to yourself. You are the greatest gift to your family, your community, and your clients, if you have clients, and even the world at large. Because how your light, the frequency that you give out is important to add to changing the world for the better. You are here at this critical time in our world history. You are here to share your gift. And yet, something may hold you back. What is it? May it be lack of confidence, maybe fear of criticism, fear of little or no support, fear of loneliness, or just fear of not knowing how to even start. Let me tell you how it starts. It starts with knowing and loving your body, knowing that every thought you think, feeling, and action you take either detracts or adds to your happiness, to your goal, and to your destiny. In other words, how fulfilled, how happy, and vibrant you are now. And in the later part of your life is up to you and nobody else, nobody. Do you really understand this? Do you get this? Does this make sense to you? Yes. Because it is time to change your perception if that's not the case. If you don't believe this, that you are unlimited and free and capable, then it is time to change your mind. It is time to support the real, awesome, brilliant, and sexy woman hiding beneath those layers and layers of false and limiting beliefs. And yes, there are steps and there is a process that I cannot share with you here because this is only very, very short time that we spent here together. But the support is already there for you, just waiting to be realized, to be activated and called upon. This support lies in your soul self. You have it within you, which I believe is your inner hero. So if you are without a loving partner or in the midst of a breakup, or your husband or boyfriend or partner passed away and you feel the loneliness that a day like Valentine's Day can trigger, know this. And yes, I'm coming back to Valentine's Day because this is the Valentine's weekend. Know this. Your most loving, supportive, and loyal confidant is your soul self, your inner hero who never leaves you and is available to you 24 hours each day until the last hour of your life. Yes, heroic self-love will set you free to dance to your own music and live your most radiant and joyful life, no matter what outside circumstance exists. Know that you are loved beyond measure. You are unlimited in your capacity to love and also receive love. So I want you to enjoy your weekend, whether you celebrate happy Valentine's Day with a partner or not. Dance to your own music, dance in your own light, fill your room or the space around you with your juiciness, with your happiness. And you know something? The moment you change your thoughts to positive and happy thoughts, everything will change in you. Your feelings will change. sometimes it's really good to start all of this with physicality, you know, maybe to say yes, 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 and laugh out loud and do anything. Maybe be silly, be joyful. And then you trigger. It's like a domino effect. It will trigger happy thoughts, happy moments that come to you from the past, happy experiences. And then when you experience them, because your body believes everything you think and creates the appropriate chemistry in your body for that. So when you change your thoughts, your body will change. Your whole life will change. Yes. There is so much more to say about this, but this is kind of all that I have for you today. And actually, what I also wanted to let you know is that I have a Facebook group for the last month and a half now. And it's called Radiant Life After 45 Club. And we discuss all of these beautiful things there. And you will find it in as a link under this video, under this presentation. So if you're a woman over 45, I invite you to join my free Facebook group, where we can continue this conversation and where you discover so much more of your unlimited beauty, your unlimited joy, your unlimited love, because nobody creates your life for you. The universe is for you. The universe happens for you. If you have heard that before, that comes from Tony Robbins. And he has changed millions and millions of people's lives, because that is very often something where we get stuck. We believe things are against us, but no, the universe is for you. So make use of it, but you need to be in alignment with the universe. Only see what you want and never what you don't want. Does it make sense? I believe so. So until I see you again next time, I love you from the very bottom of my heart. You are unlimited. The universe is unlimited. You are a child of the universe. You too are unlimited. Enjoy this special weekend. All of my love to you. Bye-bye for now.